Economic hardship. Afcon Cup is gone. Let's face cup of Gari. Shehu Sani says, hey, not be small thing, though. So because of African Cup of Nations, people forgot about Cup of Gari first temporarily and faced football. Nigerians will always find soccer somewhere temporary, no matter how temporary it is. So now we were going for the African Cup of Nations to pick the cup, win the trophy, and bring it to Nigeria. Now the match is over. Nigeria lost to Ivory Coast in 2-1 play out. Okay, and everywhere is quiet. So Shehu Sani is not telling Nigerians, now that African Cup of Nations is gone, let's come and face Nigerian Cup of Gari. African Cup of Nations is gone, let's face Nigerian Cup of Gari. Not be smart, you know. Because now, Cup of Gari is something else, and it's not even available. And if it's available, the price is now getting out of the reach of the common man. And this is practically very, very bad, very, very terrible. The high cost of living is breaking the back of Nigerians. But sometimes this Shehu Sani has a way of coining his comments, response, and post in a way that makes it look funny, but behind it are serious views, serious perceptions, serious meanings behind it. Okay. Now what this saying, now we have gone to forget our sorrow temporarily for the Cup of Nations. Now it is over. Let's now come back and face the reality. The sorrows are still waiting. These are serious. Former lawmaker and social critic Senator Shehu Sani on Monday said Nigerians should now be concerned with the rising food inflation and cost of living ravaging the nation. Okay, the statement followed the defeat of the Super Eagles of Nigeria on Sunday by the Ivorian national team in the final match of the just concluded African Cup of Nations, Afcon. Now he said, Afcon Cup is gone. We cannot face Cup of Gari, Sani wrote on his X page. Oh boy. So Daily Post reports that the International Monetary Fund has warned that Nigeria is experiencing a deepening economic crisis. We know. So he stated this in a recently published report titled Reviews of Nigeria's Post-Financing Assessment by the IMF Executive Board. Post-financing assessment. So after borrowing lots money, you want to assess how we are performing with the money. They don't share them. No assessment. IMF expressed concern that the stagnant per capita growth, widespread poverty, and severe food insecurity have further intensified the persistent cost of living crisis in Nigeria. Of course, that is what it is now. When people are just there just for their own interest. It is very, very bad. Very, very bad. I want to tell the truth. So generally, we are back from African Cup of Nations and we are back to face Nigerian Cup of Gari. So how I would, after watching the match, of course, you will come and eat. Now that people have finished watching the match, what about the food now? How are we going to make it? How are we going to manage it? How can Nigeria be out of the woods in terms of, cost of living crisis, in terms of high cost of food items, or rather food insecurity in Nigeria? Okay, and food, Shehu Sani just mentioned only food. Food is not the only problem of Nigeria, though food is basic. It's after eating and you are able to deal with hunger that you can come out and do some other things. But in the reality, food problem is there. Insecurity is there. Now look at over 500 people have been killed in Benue State in the fresh attack by Fulani herdsmen. What will you say about that? And this is now worse than what happened in Plateau State that Tinubu has now approved for. That Tinubu has now approved for military barrack establishment in the Plateau State. So apart from the food or cup of Gari, as Sani put it, there are several other issues bedevailing Nigeria. Now, IMF is coming to say that Nigeria is facing a worsening economic crisis. So how can it be fixed? Okay. After all, there are the people that advise Nigeria to, unify the exchange rate and also remove the first subsidy, and they will give you all kinds of advice. And at the end of the day, if it's not working, they come back to tell you why it is not working. Now wow. First of all, Nigerian leaders should need to borrow brain you don't have, because you don't just take every external advice the way it comes. Your duty is to x-ray it, take what is right and discard what is not going to work for you. You risk assess every decision before you make it. Don't just make it and then along the line you will start crying, or you will start expecting Nigeria to cooperate. Like now they're telling Nigerians to bear it, telling Nigerians to cooperate, telling Nigerians to sacrifice. But they themselves are not sacrificing. In the midst of this economic crisis, the politicians are sharing money. Go and look at the budget they have made. Over 50% is to their own well-being, or for their own well-being. So how can we continue like this? That is bad. That is bad, I tell you. That is bad. So now that African Cup of Nations is finished, we are now back to face the reality. Let me see what will pop again as news today. Those players have tried their best. They have collected their prizes. Nigeria has tried coming second place. The question is that we are back. Where the Gari, where the Eba, where the promises, APC, all promises council. So, and all of them are lying themselves there that, Nigeria is going to come out strong. People should be patient with Tinubu. A lot of people, you can imagine Sanusi coming out to say that Tinubu should not be blamed for the current economic crisis, that it was Buhari that started it. The same way Buhari blamed Jonathan for 8 years, the same way Tinubu has started blaming Buhari. So our government is just a government of blames, trading blames all around. That is what they know how to do best, which is very bad, very, very unacceptable. Okay, so now that African Cup of Nations is finished, we are back. Let's hear people. Now, protests have started breaking out in some states. We've had it in Kano, we've had twice in Niger State, we've had in Ondo State, Ogun State, we've had in Oshu State, we've had in Lagos State. Now we're getting Anambra State. Okay, gradually it's going to spread around the whole country. I tell you, gradually this protest is going to engulf the nation. And Tinubu has been told, ignore this crisis, this protest, and a widespread protest in Nigeria at your own peril. That was what I think it was Salihu Mohammed Lukman that told Tinubu that. Ignore widespread national protests at your own peril, and it's coming. Okay, so these are part of the realities we are going to face anywhere from now after African Cup of Nations, because it is over. The next thing is to face the reality back at home. When you go out, you come back, food not follow you, come back, house not good day, you not down. That is it. And unfortunately, the government does not care. It's an unfortunate situation. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comments.